Hello, my name is Jason Cosman, and today I'm going to be talking about CRM 2016 and solution patching, and the creation of this patching. Microsoft Dynamics CRM implemented solutions in CRM 2011. There really hasn't been many updates to the solution concept since then. A solution essentially is a container of customizations you're able to package in an unmanaged or managed state, and essentially the differences are uncompiled source code versus compiled source code. With the latest release of CRM 2016, we finally have some much needed updates to the solution concept, and this comes in the form of patching. Personally, I think patching's biggest benefit comes in the form of allowing you to isolate the exact changes needed for a specific change. I've experienced, and I'm sure many of you have experienced, deployments of solutions where there are multiple post-deployment steps, whether it's updating workflows or other components, and to only find out after doing all of that work that something was missed or you're going to have to redeploy the solution. This can have multiple impacts. It can first impact the business's downtime. It can impact your employees, and the big thing here is that you're going to have to redo all of that post-deployment work every time you have to redeploy that solution. So with patching, this changed everything. It allows us to really pinpoint exactly what needs to be changed and make a patch for that solution. It's really nice, and I'm really excited to show it off today in a very simplistic concept. Now, the rules around what you can and can't do for patching, I've included a link to the MSDN article in the description of the video, and I definitely recommend you to take a look and have a read at that. So without further ado, let's jump into CRM 2016. As you can see that I have CRM 2016 open here, and I have a sample solution that I've created. So when I open the sample solution, for my example today is I'm going to have a solution with a single entity, and we've deployed to production, and we've realized that we have an option set that we missed some values, and what a pain in the butt, because we're going to have to go back and redeploy the full solution again because we've missed the values in this option set. So we look through the option set, and we have options 1 through 6. Well, we really needed 1 through 8, so we missed them. So let's go ahead and actually create a patch to this. So we have a couple new options up here. So the first one is clone a patch. This is when you select a solution and click clone a patch. This is how you create a patch. The second one is called clone solution. This is how you actually roll up all of the patches for a single solution into a single solution, and it's a higher version, right? So you apply all the patches to the single base solution, and you continue to work from there. The third part is apply solution upgrade. This is actually when you would deploy a managed solution in our test or production environment, and you want to apply a solution upgrade. You would select which solution you want and then apply this, and you would import. So we're going to go ahead and actually clone a patch here. So you can see by default it comes up and it shows you the base solution. So this would be your parent solution. It shows you what your display name is. It could be very different. You could just have something that's very specific to the core functionality for this patch. And then also it gives you a revision number. So right now it's recommending 1.0.1.1.0. I'm going to say, because it's just option sets, it really is a very minor revision. So we're going to go ahead and save it as .1. And in here we can now see that the sample solution patch has been created. So when we open it up, it's a blank solution, and the reason behind that is when we go ahead and actually add our sample entity to this, you'll see that we're able to select the different features of that entity itself. I'm gonna find my sample entity. Here it is. So we're prompted with a new screen now. Before, in a regular solution, you're usually prompted with, do you want to add all of the related, or anything that has a relationship to this entity. Now it actually shows us, please select the entity assets to include in the solution. And this is important because on the right hand side we see add all assets. We're going to unclick that. You can include all of the entity metadata or not. It's up to you. Now we see the forms, the views, any charts or fields or keys or relationships. We don't have to include any of it. In our example, we're going to go ahead and just add a couple new option set values to our new sample option set. So I've only highlighted this, and you can see down bottom only one item selected. So I'm going to go ahead and select finish. Now it looks like a regular solution entity because it's here, right? We have the sample entity in the navigation, but when you actually click on it and look at it like forms, there's no forms, there's no views, there's nothing but the single selected attribute. So I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to add my two new values here because we really need that 7 and 8 options. I'm going to go ahead and save and close. I'm going to publish the solution. And when that's done, normally you would just go ahead and, just like you normally would export a solution, select your solution and export. It follows the exact same process as a normal solution. It doesn't have anything different that way. It is important to note that a patch can only be applied to an environment where it has the parent solution installed. The next thing I really want to do is I want to take a look at what are the differences behind the scenes. So I've gone ahead and exported both the base solution and its patch. I've opened up both of them and took out the text within the customization.xml file, and this is really where all of the entities and forms and attributes and all of the information for the solution is stored. And I compared the two. So on the left hand side we have the full solution, and the right hand side is just the patch. So if we go to the top, it lists right away, it goes right into entities, and here we see the sample entity is included on both the left and right, of course. But when it gets into attributes, on the left hand side the first attribute is created by, but on the right hand side with our patch, the only thing we've included, of course, is the new sample option set. So here we can see that all of the fields behind the scenes aren't included either. This is great to see because sometimes it's not always what it seems, and when we're actually inspecting the source code behind the scenes, it truly is only exporting those individual features or attributes inside the entity that we've selected, and this is extremely powerful. So I just wanted to show that because that is important to be able to trust what's going on behind the scenes, and as well to be able to see and understand it. So that's what it looks like behind the scenes. Now if we're done patching and we're actually ready to go ahead and work on the next solution or the next iterative version of the solution, we have to go back and say clone solution. So we select our base solution, we clone a solution, and what it does is it asks for us, what version would you like? So are we done with 0.1.0.0? So this is what it's going to do is it's actually going to remove that patch and roll it into a single solution. So now we can actually go ahead and open this and start edits on the next version of our sample solution. So I hope you found this informative as a brief introduction into the new functionality with solutions introduced in CRM 2016 patching. I definitely recommend that you go and read some of the information in MSDN. It's really informative and very in depth. My next video will be on the actual importing process of a patch in a managed state and what that kind of looks like. How do you do the same thing as what we just did? You know, move to that next iterative version, do the patches disappear from your solution list, and all of that functionality. Thank you for watching and have a great day.